Have you ever stopped to wonder how a massive database like, say, Google's or Amazon's can find you specific piece of information out of literally billions of others in less than a second? Well, the secret isn't magic. It's a clever shortcut called hashing. And today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
I mean, it really does feel like magic, right? You type in a username, search for an old order, look up a contact, and bam, it's just there. But how does a system actually sift through a mountain of data to find the one single thing you're looking for and do it in the blink of an eye? That is the big question we are going to answer right now.
So, to really get the solution, we first have to understand the goal. In our world, everything has to be instant. We expect it. And that relentless demand for speed is what pushes engineers to come up with these incredibly clever systems.
Just think about any app you use every day. You're constantly adding things, like a new photo. You're deleting things, like an old email. And you're looking things up, like a friend's phone number. The ultimate dream, the holy grail, is to make all three of these actions feel completely, totally instantaneous.
Okay, so let's start with a thought experiment. Let's try to design a perfect system, something that is theoretically flawless for storing and finding data. It's brilliant, it's simple, and as we're about to see, it has one gigantic, fatal flaw.
This so-called perfect method is called direct addressing, and the idea really could not be simpler. You just create a massive table, like a giant set of digital cubbyholes, with one slot for every single possible key you might ever want to store.
The logic here is it's beautiful. If your data has the key 5, you store it in slot number 5. To find it later, you just go directly to slot number 5. The key is the address. It's a perfect, clean, one-to-one map. Now, the power of this method is incredible. There's no searching, no scanning, no sifting around. You know the key, so you know the exact address. In computer science terms, we call this O of 1, or constant time. And that just means the operation takes the same tiny fraction of a second, whether you have 10 items or 10 billion. It is the very definition of instant. So, problem solved, right?
Well, not so fast. Here's the catch. And it's not a small one. It's a giant, planet-sized catch. Our perfect system comes at an absolutely staggering cost. And that cost is a universe of completely wasted space.
Let's make this really concrete. Imagine we're storing records for a small class of just 50 students, and we're using their 9-digit social security number as the key. Okay, so the total number of possible 9-digit SSNs is 1 billion. But how many are we actually using? Just 50? To use our perfect direct addressing system, we would have to create a table with 1 billion slots just to hold data for 50 students.
Yeah, just let that number sink in. If we actually built this system for our class, 99.999995% of the memory we set aside would be completely empty, just sitting there, totally wasted. It is theoretically perfect for speed, but it's practically impossible for pretty much any real-world application. So, the challenge is pretty clear. How do we get that O1 instant speed without the insane memory waste? Well, the answer is a much smarter shortcut, and it's called hashing. A hash table is our elegant compromise. It's really made of two parts. First, you have a reasonably sized array. Not a billion slots, maybe just a few hundred or a few thousand. And second, you have this special mapping tool, the hash function, which acts kind of like a magical sorter. And here is the brilliant part. Instead of the key being the address, we feed the key, any key at all from that massive universe, into our hash function. The function then acts like a converter. It takes that huge number and predictably, reliably, turns it into a much smaller address that actually fits inside our much smaller table. This side-by-side comparison really makes it click. For storage, direct addressing needs space for the entire universe of keys. Hashing, on the other hand, just uses a smaller fixed size. And to store an item, instead of using the key k as the address, we use the output of our hash function, h of k. This one simple change is what makes hashing both practical and incredibly efficient. But, as with any great shortcut, there's always a new challenge that pops up. We're trying to squeeze a billion possible keys into, say, 1,000 slots. So what happens when our magic sorter gets a little overzealous? This is the one essential problem that hashing creates. The whole point of the hash function is to take any key and give us a slot number. But what if it takes two totally different keys and gives us the exact same slot number.
And this diagram shows it perfectly. Our hash function pointed both key K2 and key K5 to the very same slot in our table. That right there is a collision. We can't just overwrite the data that's already there, so now we have a kind of data traffic jam.
So, how do we untangle this inevitable crash? Well, it turns out the solution is surprisingly simple, and it's really quite elegant. It's called collision resolution.
The most common way to fix this is a method called chaining. The idea is simple. Instead of each slot holding just one item, we let each slot be the start of a list. If multiple items want to go into the same slot, we just say, no problem, just get in line.
And this right here, this is the aha moment. Each table slot is no longer a single spot, but it's the head of a chain. You can see here the slot for HK1 now just points to a list that contains both K1 and K4. We don't have a collision anymore, we have an orderly little queue. Each slot has basically become a bucket that can hold multiple items.
And here's the best part. As long as our hash function does a decent job of spreading the keys out evenly, these little lists, these chains, stay really short. So on average, the time it takes to find, insert, or delete something is still 0.1. It's still practically instantaneous. We managed to solve the massive space problem without really sacrificing our speed.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that hashing isn't just a data structure, it's more like a philosophy. It really is the art of finding that brilliant compromise between the perfect, theoretical speed of direct addressing and the practical, real-world need to conserve memory. It gives us the best of both worlds.
And that's the genius of hashing. It's not about finding a perfect solution, but a perfectly balanced one. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where else in our lives or in technology do we find the most elegant and powerful solutions, not at the extremes, but by making a clever compromise right in the middle?